You were created with a purpose. There is a unique mission within you, placed by God even before your birth. This calling pulses in your heart every day, even when everything around you tries to distract you. It has never disappeared. It was just waiting for the right moment to awaken. You are not here by chance. You didn't stumble upon this content by luck. Everything that has brought you here is part of a greater plan. Your life has meaning. Your pain has direction. And the constant feeling that you were born for something more is real. You were chosen to live something that the world does not yet understand. The world of the chosen is different. While many live to survive, the chosen live to transform. They do not settle. They feel deeper. They know that there is something within them that needs to be expressed. And when this truth is ignored, the body gets tired, the mind gets lost, and the soul screams. The time of waiting is over. Now is the time to remember who you are, to return to your center, to reconnect with the origin of your purpose. Everything begins with clarity, presence, and faith. What is inside of you is greater than any external distraction, and it is already ready to bloom. This video will show you with clarity and simplicity how to recognize and activate your divine purpose in 3 steps. No magic formulas, no empty promises, just what your soul already knows, but hasn't yet heard with such truth. Your time has come. If this message has ignited something within you, follow the channel. Because from here on out, your journey will be guided with more light, and you will no longer walk alone. Divine purpose is not a title you earn. It is the reason your soul was sent to this world. It exists before your name, before your story. It has been in you since the beginning. And it does not depend on fame, function, or appearance. It is spiritual, invisible, eternal. This purpose is the mission that God entrusted to your existence. It is not about a specific task, like a profession or a public role. It is about an inner positioning. It is what you carry in your spirit, what overflows when you live with awareness, faith, and truth. It manifests when you live in coherence with who you truly are. When your actions reflect your essence. When your light is no longer hidden to please the world. The divine purpose is when your life becomes an instrument, a living channel of something greater. You do not need to do something grand to fulfill this calling. Fulfilling your divine purpose is about living each day with presence and intention. It is about doing the ordinary with an uncommon awareness. It is being a reflection of God in everything you do, even in the small things. This purpose does not reveal itself all at once. It is discovered in the process. It gradually shows itself in encounters, in decisions, in pain, in gifts. It does not come as a shout. It presents itself as a whisper. But those who walk with an open heart recognize it. The chosen do not fit into ready-made molds. They carry within themselves a constant restlessness. They do not accept a shallow life. They know they were born for something that is not visible from the outside, but that burns inside. And this is not confusion. It is spiritual awakening. The mission that is within you cannot be copied. It is unique. No one else has the same combination of history, gifts, struggles, and truths that you carry. This combination is exactly what makes you necessary in the greater plan. You were designed to touch the world in a way that only you can. The divine purpose does not require perfection. It requires surrender. It manifests even amid failures, even when you feel small, because it does not depend on your performance. It depends on your willingness. God uses those who are available, not those who are impeccable. Your purpose is not about you shining. It is about you reflecting the light you have received. It is about serving, healing, awakening, guiding, welcoming, teaching, liberating. Each chosen one fulfills their purpose in a different way, but they all have something in common. They leave traces of transformation wherever they go. When you understand this, everything changes. You stop comparing yourself. You stop seeking outside what is already inside. You begin to recognize the value of what you feel, of what you have lived, of what you want to express. You understand that you are exactly where you need to be to begin. The revelation of your purpose is not in the future. It starts now, with what you have, where you are, the way you are. Because the one who planted this mission in you already knew the paths you would take, and yet he chose you. Divine purpose does not appear with bright signs or ready-made answers. It reveals itself gradually, in silence, in the details of ordinary life. The chosen do not receive purpose wrapped up. They receive the signs. They come in the form of discomfort, sensitivity, restlessness. And only those who are attentive notice. The lives of the chosen are marked by a constant feeling of displacement. They cannot fit in. They are not satisfied with the superficial. Even amid people and achievements, they feel that something is missing. This emptiness is not a sign of error. It is the space where purpose begins to be born. This calling manifests when something ordinary affects you deeply. It could be a conversation, a situation, a pain of another that you feel as your own. Suddenly, something that others ignore paralyzes you. This impact is a sign. God uses your emotions to show you what needs to be done. The chosen develop deep empathy. They feel what others feel. And over time, they realize that this is not excess. It is a tool. Sensitivity exists to serve a purpose. It points to where you should look, where you should act, where you can heal. Purpose reveals itself in what moves you, in what you would do even without recognition, even without payment, even without an audience. What makes your eyes shine is not a coincidence. It is direction. It is a clue left by God on your path. Sometimes purpose begins with discomfort. You feel that you need to change, but you don't know how. You feel that you are in the wrong place, even if you can't explain it. These signs should not be ignored. They are saying, there is something more. There is something of yours waiting to be revealed. The chosen live as if they are assembling a puzzle. Each experience, each pain, each gift is a piece, and at the right time the picture begins to make sense. God does not reveal everything at once. He delivers one part, then another, until one day the purpose appears clearly. It is not about being in a hurry. It is about being awake, being open to perceive the divine clues amid the routine. Because purpose does not reveal itself when everything is right. It usually appears in chaos, at the bottom of the well, in loss, in pain, in starting over. The story of each chosen one carries moments that seemed like defeats, but were actually preparation. Situations that broke you, but opened space for something new to be born. Every tear, every fall, every doubt contributes to the alignment with what you were created to live. Purpose also reveals itself in what bothers you in the world, what you look at and think, this needs to change. Often, what irritates you the most is precisely what you were sent to transform. The pain you feel is an echo of what your mission came to heal. Nothing is by chance in the life of a chosen one. Not the pauses, not the silences, not the detours. Everything cooperates to reveal what needs to be revealed, but it is necessary to be attentive. Purpose speaks softly, and those who live distracted do not hear. Who you are already carries the answer. It is in your gifts, in your falls, in your new beginnings. What you have lived thus far is part of the construction, and each day lived with awareness is one more piece fitted. Purpose is not discovered outside, it reveals itself within. Purpose does not start with you. It starts with God. He is the source, the origin, the author of your mission. Only those who walk with the planner understand the plan. And only those who listen to the voice that calls them recognize the calling. A life of purpose demands a living connection with the Creator. It is not about religiosity, but about relationship. It is not about empty rituals. It is about real presence. It is knowing that God is not distant. He is near. He speaks. He guides. But to hear, you need to stop. You need to want to. You need to seek. Heaven is only understood when the noise of the earth is silenced. The chosen have spiritual thirst. They feel that something inside them needs this connection. And when this thirst is ignored, everything seems heavier. Purpose does not reveal itself in an absent heart. It manifests in those who are present, willing to relate, not just to ask. To pray is to converse with the one who created you. It is to enter the room, close the door, and speak with truth. It is not about repeating memorized words. It is about opening the heart. It is about sincerity. Those who speak with God truthfully hear answers clearly. Spiritual reading also nourishes this connection. Reading the Word with an open heart changes the way you see everything. A verse can be a key. A story can be an answer. Purpose reveals itself as you draw nearer to the source that originated it. Praise also brings you closer. When you praise, your spirit aligns. Worship cleanses the soul. It lifts the weight. It breaks through blockages. It is like opening windows inside. Heaven communicates with you in subtle yet real ways. And the more you connect, the more purpose reveals itself. You do not need to understand everything about God to begin. You just need to want to be close. You just need to take the first step. Intimacy is built over time, consistency, and truth. And the more you walk with God, the more your soul aligns with the mission He entrusted to you. The world will try to distract you. It will fill your time with urgent but empty things. It will make you forget what is essential. But the chosen cannot live disconnected, because their mission requires divine direction. And this direction only comes with intimacy. The presence of God is not a place you visit once in a while. It is a place where you live, where you grow strong, where purpose takes shape. It is in this relationship that everything begins to make sense. It is in this surrender that your light shines again from the inside out. What you carry inside of you is not by chance. Your gifts, your natural abilities, your inexplicable passions are traces left by God within you. They were placed there with intention, and they are part of your mission. They are essential pieces of your divine purpose. God does not give talents for no reason. Everything He places in someone has a greater end. If you sing, communicate, write, organize, welcome, inspire, it is not just a gift, it is a tool. And each tool is part of the plan. Noticing what you do with ease is the first step to understanding where you should act. The desires of the heart also speak volumes. What moves you, what enchants you, what calls you, is a reflection of what you were designed to live. Sometimes, you love something that seems to have no practical utility, but you still feel an urge to continue. This is a clue. The chosen feel these inclinations more intensely. A deep desire to teach, care, serve, lead, transform. And even when the path is not clear, this inner calling does not vanish. It comes back. It insists. Because it is not a whim. It is a reminder from the soul about what needs to be lived. Pay attention to what gives you effortless joy. What you would do even without recognition, without a stage, without applause. This type of activity connects you with your purpose. It fuels you, ignites you, makes you feel more alive. This is a sign. It is God pointing the way. Often the gifts seem too small, but nothing that comes from above is small. A simple gift, used with awareness, can transform lives. A gesture, a word, a skill applied with love can be everything someone needed at that moment. And that is already fulfilling a mission. Do not compare yourself. Purpose does not depend on spectacular gifts. It depends on gifts lived with truth. You do not need to sing to crowds, write books, or be on stages. You can be a silent counselor, an intercessor, someone who listens patiently. Each gift has a place in the divine plan. Recognizing these gifts is an act of spiritual honor. When you allow yourself to look inward with more affection, you begin to realize that everything was already there, waiting to be used, developed, delivered. God works through what He Himself placed in you. Value your talents. Take care of them. Use them. Practice. They were not given by chance. They were given with purpose. And when you activate them with faith, heaven moves. Because the gift you have were made to touch lives, and that is the true service of a chosen one. You do not need to know everything to begin. Purpose does not require that you have all the answers. It just needs a movement, a step, even if it's small, even if it's trembling. The journey of the chosen begins with courage, amid uncertainty, because clarity does not come first. It appears along the way. God does not expect you to be ready. He expects you to be available. He uses those who move, even with fear, even without guarantees. True faith does not walk on certainty. It walks on trust. And the first step is often the most powerful, because it breaks the inertia. Spiritual paralysis often comes from the anxiety for perfection. But purpose does not come wrapped up. It is built with practice, with surrender, with presence. You learn by doing. You grow by serving. You discover who you are by walking. And each step reveals another part of the mission. The chosen live with their hearts beating for something greater. But they also carry doubts, insecurities, fears. This is normal. It does not mean weakness. It means you are awake, sensitive, human. But fear cannot dictate your life. It has no authority over what God has already released over you. You do not need to wait for courage to appear. You need to act despite the fear. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is a decision. It is looking at the unknown and still choosing to move forward. God works in movement. He honors every step of faith. He opens ways where there was no road. Start where you are, with what you have, the way you can. Do not wait for the ideal scenario. It may never come. But the right time is now. The mission is already active within you, and the only thing missing is your yes. A sincere yes. Available, present, trust. You're not walking alone. God walks with you. He sustains you. He empowers you. Even when it seems that nothing is happening. In the invisible, everything is adjusting. You act on earth, and He acts in heaven. Your obedience moves miracles that you cannot yet see. Your purpose is not about you shining. It is about you reflecting the light you have received. It is about serving, healing, awakening, guiding, welcoming, teaching, liberating. Each chosen one fulfills their purpose in a different way, but they all have something in common. They leave traces of transformation wherever they go. When you understand this, everything changes. You stop comparing yourself. You stop seeking outside what is already inside. You begin to recognize the value of what you feel, of what you have lived, of what you want to express. You understand that you are exactly where you need to be to begin. Pain is not the end of the road. It is part of it. In many moments, what hurt the most was also what pushed you closer to your purpose. God does not waste suffering. He transforms every tear into direction, every loss into preparation, every wound into a bridge. The chosen feel more intensely. When something hurts, it hurts deeply. But this depth is not punishment. It is spiritual sensitivity. It is maturity forged in fire. Pain, for the chosen, is not just something to be endured. It is something to be deciphered. Because there, many times, a calling is hidden. What bothers you in the world reveals what you are called to act upon. What causes you spiritual indignation, what revolts you in silence. All of this points to areas where you carry authority to transform. God does not awaken discomfort in vain. He is always leading to something greater. Pain teaches us what the comfort zone never teaches. It breaks pride, silences the ego, and awakens listening. It is in the valley that the voice of God seems clearest, and it is in those moments that your mission begins to become clearer, more urgent, more alive. You are not broken. You are being shaped. Pain refines the instrument that you are. It prepares your speech, softens your heart, refines your surrender. When you allow pain to transform you, it ceases to be a burden and becomes purpose. It turns into direction. Many chosen ones discover their mission in the exact place where they were most wounded. Because that is where true compassion is born. That is where empathy is real. You do not offer theory, you offer experience. You carry scars that become bridges to heal others. What seems like a detour today may be the very path. Nothing is by chance. Not even the pains, not the delays, not the silences. God is writing a story in you that does not end in loss. It starts over. And this new beginning brings you closer to who you were born to be. Honor your pain. Do not hide it. Do not be ashamed of it. It is part of your spiritual journey. And by allowing it to be redeemed, you transform suffering into service. You transform loss into power. You transform what made you fall into something that can lift others up. You were chosen not only to endure, but to overcome and then transform. Your testimony is being written. And when you understand that pain did not come to destroy you, but to reveal you, everything will begin to make sense. If you have read everything up to this point, it is because something inside you has been touched. Perhaps it was a passage, perhaps an entire paragraph. But the most important thing is that you recognize something. And this is already the beginning of the revelation of your purpose. There is no coincidence when heaven wants to speak to your soul. You do not need grand signs to know that you have been called. The confirmation is in that silent fire you feel inside. It is in that desire to do more, to live with more meaning, to leave a real impact wherever you go. This does not come from the mind. It comes from the spirit. What is within you is not a burden. It is a mission. It is direction. It is a reminder that your life has eternal value. And that yes, there is something specific that only you can do in this world. God has called you to something great, even if it happens in simple and discreet gestures. Allow yourself to continue on this journey with faith. Cultivate your intimacy with God. Use the gifts He has given you. Take small but constant steps. Honor your pain and transform all of it into light. The world needs your sincere dedication. If this content spoke to you, share in the comments what touched your heart the most. It could be a part of the text, a feeling it awakened, or even something you have experienced that connects with this message. Your experience can awaken something important in another chosen one. Your purpose is alive, and heaven is watching every step you take.